Having listened to many of the speakers today, it's going to be a very difficult act to follow. Very knowledgeable, and their heart and passion's in the right place. And I'd like to say to everybody here, thank you for coming, because you are actually in the right place. On the 23rd of June, I attended the count in Cllr and returned home at about 5:30 on the 24th of June, feeling very despondent, but very proud, because this ward voted Remain. 63% of this ward voted Remain. Split not quite evenly between the Common side and the Crackling side. And I know this because being a political anorak, we do what's called a ballot box count and we check them all. And I will also say this, don't let anybody tell you that Pontypridd voted Leave. Because at that count, it was a knife edge, but in the positive side to Remain. And it was not until the postal votes from the Rhondda and the Cynnon were mixed in that swung it that Pontypridd then was classed as an outvoted constituency. It didn't. And I know this because we were doing ballot box counts at all of the other wards, and some voted out overwhelmingly. And unfortunately, the ones that did vote out are the ones which actually were receiving more of the European money coming into this country than the ones who voted Remain. It was a peculiar system. Now, my wife is French, and there is no way she will be paying the money to become a British citizen because she's a citizen of Europe. Je suis an European. And I think we have to look at what happens and how strong we are integrated with Europe, and how we've been leading Europe and not actually fighting against it. And it's only the select few. And they say a week in politics is a long time. Well, let's have a look what's happened this week. Cambridge Analytica. Now, very interesting there. We have a stable and strong Prime Minister. I doubt it, because when you have a foreign secretary attacking a nation and calling them, and I wasn't going to use this word, but I'll have to, Nazis, that lost, what, 23 million people during the Second World War? That's outrageous, yet he retains his job. And yet then we have an MP who says what we all agree with, and my party has always said, second referendum, because when we know what's on the table, then we should be able to give them the vote for it or against it, and to remain if we need to. And make it a referendum is binding. Because a referendum is advisory only. If someone told me, well, it's a good idea if you stick your hand in the fire, that's advice, but I wouldn't be taking that advice because it wouldn't be good for me. And it wouldn't be good for my family. And it wouldn't be good for the people I represent because they wouldn't be happy. So, what we must take away, I think, from this is that we do have a weak MP, a Prime Minister, and we have someone who thinks they're a strong leader of the opposition who can actually sack somebody for standing up for the residents of the place where he represents, and I think that's disgraceful. But I was going to write a speech, but I thought, no, if I do that, we'll be here all day. So, what I would say is this. We must be mindful of the language which has been used for and against the Leave and the Remain. And there are many Leavers who we will never convince to actually vote to Remain. But there are lots of people who we can convince to actually come out and support Remain who didn't previously care one way or the other. And we must do it with language which is amenable and is pleasant, and it's actually communicating with people, maybe in language which you can understand, but not accusing somebody of being a fascist or a Nazi or a quitling. We must actually start engaging on a more adult approach to this. Well, I was going to say we're not going to. Brexit is impossible. We can't do it. Because if we were to do it, this country will suffer immensely. And those that are in power know, or those that are arguing for it know this. Your Adam Banks. Those rich people can afford for us to leave. The people in my ward can't. The people in Rydfellan can't. The people in the Rhondda and the Cynnon can't. They may have voted for it, but I believe they voted for it on effectively lies or mistruths. So, thank you all for coming along to a Romanian voting ward. and there are quite a few of them in the Pontypridd constituency. And it's great to see you all here today, and hopefully, not hopefully, we will stop Brexit and we will remain. Thank you all.